Our scripture reading this morning will come from different books of the Bible. We're starting with Isaiah 43:19. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. We then move on to Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Then Joshua 1 verse 9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. Finally, Deuteronomy 31 verse 8. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. God bless you.
God will take care of you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Morning Inspiration on this beautiful Saturday morning. The topic I want to speak with you today on is embracing change. Many persons are going through different types of changes in their lives at this point in time. It may be a transition, a life transition. It may be a spiritual transition. It may be a work-related transition. Perhaps you have lost your job and you're exploring different options for survival, for making an income, for making a living. Perhaps it's a transition in a relationship. This morning, I just want to remind you that change is the only constant. If I were to pause this presentation for 5 seconds, I would be 5 seconds older. Change would have taken place. The only thing that we can do about change to be able to deal with it healthily is to embrace it. Embrace change. The story is told by Dr. Spencer Johnson in this book, Who Moved My Cheese? It is about 2 mice and 2 human beings. The human beings, being complex and analytical, they were in a cheese station with 2 mice, and the mice recognized that the cheese was reducing. The amount of cheese available was dwindling, and so one mice was a little faster than the other, but they began to move to other cheese stations to find new cheese. The human beings who felt entitled to that cheese in that cheese station refused to move. They refused to change. They were analyzing and they were in analysis paralysis, recognizing that they had built up a comfortable life. They had been in this particular position. They had belonged to this particular social group. They had belonged to this organization for a long time and they were comfortable. So they were not willing to make the change. Unfortunately, by the time the mice had found a new cheese, the human beings were still there analyzing the situation. I want to use that story by Dr. Spencer Johnson this morning to just encourage you to embrace change. Recognize that change is taking place. Recognize the possibility of black swan events, as Talib writes about, to say that things will happen that we do not expect. But if you have a mindset that is open to change and flexibility, if you have a mindset that recognizes that change is inevitable, then you will be more prepared psychologically, mentally, physically, financially, spiritually to embrace change. As I remind you today, change is the only constant. Embrace it. Survive, thrive, and grow.
God will take care of
My friends, it's always a pleasure to have you with us. We look forward to having you again tomorrow. Remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share. We want to make sure that we have as many persons as possible getting these messages. Have a beautiful day.